Okay, today I've come back to the Kielder Forest in the north of England, right near the border of Scotland. And I'm a bit tired and I'm racing against the dark again because I actually did my last video earlier today where I went and saw the B-29 bomber in the Midlands. And yeah, it took a bit longer to get up here than I thought. And I've probably got about 35 minutes left before the sun goes down officially, but maybe 40-45 minutes of actual daylight where I can see. We'll see. We've got to head that way, round a bend, further up with the forest on the right hand side I think, and then we've got to cut through, and that's where it gets a bit sketchy because the satellite image shows a trail that goes to the Bothy on one side, but the OS map doesn't show that trail, so not sure about it. We're gonna have to wait and see. There really isn't a great deal of daylight left now, and I don't want to be potentially going through boggy stuff in the dark, so I need to get going. So for now at least we've got this lovely logging track, but by the looks of it, at some point you've got to veer off of this to go towards the Bothy. It's not right on this track. It's kind of in the middle of, you know, a grassy area. So that's why I'm thinking it could be boggy. So I've reached the junction that's a bit sketchy. So I've come up the track. It does continue on down there, but this forks off to the right, and I can hear my voice echoing in the forest. That's really creepy. Hello? Oh my god. Anyway, the satellite image shows this road going all the way to the right of the Bothy. But if it goes into the forest now, it's going to be dark down there, so I'm a bit scared about that. Oh, careful not to fall in the ditch down there. There we go. Yeah, hearing my voice echo in the forest then was definitely unnerving. Okay, it's really dark now, but it does look that potentially it may open up a little bit at the end here, and if that happens it may buy me another 10 minutes of light. But once it gets dark I'm going to have to drop my pack, get my torch out and do the rest of it by torchlight. That's 2 Bothys on the trot now that I've got too late, but at least the last one had a track all the way up to the Bothy. This one I can't guarantee that, and that's what I'm worried about. Okay, so it did open out a little bit and it has definitely improved the light, but only temporarily. Okay, I found what looks like the trail, but unlike in the satellite image where it's open ground, it's been planted. That looks like the trail, which is bad news because it means I've got to go up there. I don't know if it looks maybe a little bit more open further down. Nope, I cannot see anything for trees. So yeah, that's the trail, alright. But yeah, this is looking a bit dodgy now. It is what it is. I'm just gonna have to walk down there, see what we can see. Crazy. There's a little burn here, but it's over here somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. So I'm just hoping that if I follow this track across this little burn, it'll veer right towards it. It's very dodgy, but anyway, I think we're right on top of it, so it's just gonna have to walk around a bit. It's here somewhere. We're a bit higher now. It's not so boggy. There was a couple of moments where I was a bit scared about sinking, but this definitely looks like something or someone has been this way. It's a bit trodden down, so I'm hoping that this is the path to the Bothy. I cannot believe how rubbish it is. I thought it might be boggy, but I was really hoping that it wouldn't be. And this is not ideal. Just hoping that it's going to appear at some point. Flipping heck. Honestly. If I can't find it, I'm just going to follow this back and I'm just going to have to hike back to the car. What choice have I got? But yeah, there's like ditches and burns and all sorts of stuff everywhere. It's proper dodgy up here doing it in the dark. I can't believe it. I was just putting my camera away and getting ready to set off again, and then I saw the silhouette of the Bothy. There it is. Spooky, huh? How have I managed to find this? It's just almost walked past it, but there it is. I don't think that's the path though. I think you do have to follow the path around a little bit. But at least I know where it is now. Yeah, here it is. I have found the path. It's a bit overgrown. I just nearly slipped over and fell on my ass. But we've made it by the looks of it. Oh dear. Still got to be careful, I don't want to fall at the final hurdle. There we go. We'll have a proper look around once we've settled in, but I found the place. Oh my god, thank goodness. I'm assuming no one's in, I can't see any light coming from the building, but we'll give it a knock anyway. Hello? Oh, here it is, folks. No one's here, nice and cosy, and plenty of spaces to bed down, and there's an open fire there. So I need to sort myself out, and oh dear, oh my god, I'm so happy I'm here. That was getting a bit scary towards the end. Well, skin on my teeth there. Thank goodness there was some kind of discernible track there, otherwise I could have potentially just got lost. I did have my map and everything, but cool, in the dark, it's crazy. But anyway, I'm here, so let's just settle in. Well, somebody's left 4 cans of Stella. How cool is that? I'm not going to drink them though. Got to drive in the morning. So there's a brand new carbon monoxide alarm up there. This whole bunking area looks fairly new. There's some skylights, plenty of washing lines. It's looking quite tidy, I like it. Oh yeah, some places to put some candles, good, good, good. That's the first thing I'm going to do, that and my lighting. Okay, so we've got some light on the situation now. I found a couple of candlestick holders on the wall there above the fireplace, so that's cool. A couple either side of the window, and I've got my LED light on the ceiling there, so it's definitely brightened the place up. And you can see now, it is very, very small, but it does look lovely, I have to say. Yeah, so you've got a nice wooden bench there. It's an open fire in this place rather than a wood burning stove. People have left food, but this time it's in a plastic container with a heavy piece of wood on top so the mice can't get hold of it. But yeah, so you've got like a bunk bed going on in the corner. I'm probably going to sleep there because it's much easier to get in and out of the sleeping bag there, and I'll be closer to the warmth as well. Very, very cozy little bothy. Okay, so I've settled in, everything's looking much cozier now. I've got my food on the go, I've got the fire going, but it's looking very nice, it's kicking out some heat, and it's all shooting nicely up the chimney as well, so that's good. Oh yeah, and I've bagged that spot, I've inflated my sleeping mat, put my sleeping bag on top of it. I thought I'd better do that in case anyone else turns up. Those 4 beers in the corner there definitely made it look like someone wants to come back to drink them at some point. But it is just a Wednesday night, so midweek I'm hoping that no one's got any plans to hike out here in the dark. Maybe they're saving them beers for the weekend. So I'm definitely not going to touch them. It's not my kind of beer anyway, it's a bit strong for me to be fair. So, Flittingford Bothy used to be a shepherd's hut until it was abandoned after World War II. It then got swallowed up by the forest and forgotten about, and it was only rediscovered when the trees around it were being harvested in 2014. The roof had collapsed and it looked a bit sorry for itself, but the Mountain Bothy Association decided to take the place on, and in 2016 they started the work needed to turn it into the lovely little cabin we see here now. Right, I've finished my food, but it's late now. It's nearly 9 o'clock already. I washed up everything, so I don't have to worry about that now in the morning. Probably isn't going to be as much of a rodent problem in here tonight, and I've had a couple of videos now with mouse footage. So maybe I'm going to see if there's somewhere where I can put my wild cam outside. But yeah, let's go and see if we can find somewhere to attach it, and hopefully we'll get some results in the morning. Ooh. It is very dark. Could attach it to one of these posts, but it's angled so it'll be pointing up. Is there no drain pipes anywhere? Let's go and have a look over here. Yeah, I think there is a drain pipe, but it's on the other end of the building, and I really don't want to wade through that to get to it. Thank you very much. So yeah, we're a bit limited as to where I can put it. A small tree would have done the job. Let's have a look what we got. Yeah, there is some smaller trees about, but again they're all mixed up in the boggy stuff. So yeah, there's nowhere ideal. Yeah, I probably could attach it to that, but I don't know if anything's going to come in here. You never know though, it might do. Yeah, I'll put it on there, I think. There we go, I reckon that'll work. Not sure it'll catch anything, but that's not a bad spot. Right, let's go back inside. Yeah, so that felt tight enough on the wood there. Hopefully it doesn't come undone and crash on the floor in the middle of the night and break. But yeah, that's not a bad spot. So if anything comes venturing into the little front yard there, we'll see it hopefully. So I've turned the main overhead light off now. And I'm just chilling by candlelight and flames from the fire. And it looks so cool, to be honest. And I've just realised that this Bothy video is probably going to be published on Friday the 31st of October, which is basically Halloween, isn't it? So yeah, this is my Halloween Bothy. I hadn't even realised that. Although obviously I'm not staying in it on Halloween. You guys are going to see it on Halloween. So yeah, hopefully nothing creepy happens. I am actually going to turn in though, I think. It's getting quite late. I'm very tired. I need to get my boots off. Had them on all day long. So yeah, if anything happens during the night, then I'll turn the camera on and let you know as always. But hopefully I'll just get a nice quiet night and sleep like a log. And I'll just see you in the morning. Anyway, good night. Oh dear. So I managed to get about 7.5 hours sleep. So that's 2 Bothys on the trot now where I've actually slept like a baby. Anyway, I got the fire going, I've got my coffee, and yeah, it's getting on for 7 o'clock in the morning, and sunrise is in about 35 minutes. Anyway, I'm just going to drink my coffee, and when the sun's up, or at least you can actually see outside, we'll have a look around, check my trail cam at some point, and see what the whole place looks like by day. So it's not quite 7:30 yet, about 10 minutes off, but it's looking quite bright out there, bright enough to see at least anyway, so let's go and have a look. Okay, looking very different to the way it did when we arrived. Nice glow of the flames from the candles and the fire through the window there. It did not look like that when I got here. It really felt in the dark as if I was walking through the forest, and I think I was a little bit, or at least with the forest to my left. But they have definitely planted between the Bothy and the track, so that's what threw me, is because on the satellite image it looked like it was completely clear to the track, and when I just saw a wall of trees I was like, oh my god. You can see from up here now that this forest goes on for quite a distance, and that's in the southern direction. It also goes on for a hell of a long way right up to the border of Scotland. It's a big old forest, this one. Be interesting to put a drone up there and see just how far it goes. So yeah, I wouldn't exactly say it's open though. This is all boglands basically. So I would have had to have still come on that trail even if it was open. Wouldn't have been able to walk straight across this stuff, no way. But it's definitely a cute little bothy. It's very strange. These walls here kind of obscure the view of the place really. It's hard to get a good angle of what it looks like. This looks like somewhere where we can go. What's around here? Okay. Be careful, still a bit boggy in places. That's a better profile of the Bothy. Looking proper cozy. In some ways I wish I'd have walked around here last night in the dark, but I just didn't know. Once I got here I was like, that's it, I'm not going out again. So now in the daylight you can see that it wasn't just the 2 walls coming out of the front of the Bothy. There does seem to be some kind of perimeter here. So I don't know if this area maybe is where they herded their sheep, Also, it's hard to believe now, but back in the days when they were shepherding sheep in these areas, there weren't any trees. This area was all just moorlands for quite a long time. This area was bought up by the Forestry Commission, and they planted the trees in order to rebuild after the Second World War. Obviously, thousands of years ago, this area probably was forested, but for a long time this was just rolling moorlands as far as the eye can see. I've already retrieved the trail cam, and I had a look through it, and it did go off a few times, although on the tiny little screen I couldn't quite see what had made it go off. It may have just been the wind blowing plants around out here, that's entirely possible. But yeah, when I get home I'll have a proper look on a big screen and see if I can discern what set it off. So, on closer inspection, the first couple of clips did seem to have been set off by the wind. However, in the last one you can clearly see yet another mouse hopping around on the floor outside the door. Honestly, I'm sure those mice are following me around between bothies. Right, time to put my entry in the bothy book. There we go. It's a very tidy little bothy book slot there. You got some of the older bothy books. Didn't have time to actually go through them all, to be honest. I was very tired last night. But yeah, nice selection of pens as well. Very good. And I've left the beers for whoever intended to come back for them. So if someone does drink them before you come back, it was not me. There's the evidence. So before I left, I decided to have a little clear up in here. And what I couldn't see last night, it looked very, very tidy, but the floor is absolutely covered in debris from, you know, branches and stuff like that. And because it's so uneven, it's difficult to clean, especially, you know, in between the stones. And couldn't find a broom, there's only this. And even this is looking a bit battered, to be fair, making it even more difficult to clean up. But I'm doing my best, and hopefully it'll look a bit better by the time I leave. I'll put the fire out as well. I'm going to make sure that all the embers are dead before I leave, just in case. All this kind of stuff, I don't know if you can see it. The floor is covered with it. Okay, it's about time to leave. I think the floor definitely looks a lot better. Very difficult to clean though. It was tidy when I got here, there's no doubt about that, but now it's slightly tidier. So, I'm happy, it's been a good night. It's time to hike back out of here, so let's go and have a look at what that trail in from the track looks like on the way out in daylight, because it looked pretty scary in the dark. That's it. So it's time to say goodbye to Flittingford Bothy. Very peaceful night, very cosy bothy. Glad I actually found it, although it was a little bit scary trying to find my way here in the dark. Difficult to make out the trail in the daylight, to be honest. That is what I slipped on last night. Very slippery, that board. There we go, it looks a bit more like a trail here. So if it hadn't have been for sections like this, I would have got lost completely. You can see there's all new forest there now. It won't take long before that's very, very tall. The bothy's going to be completely surrounded by it. Now, I may be able to see, and it's a lot less scary, but there's still a lot of boggy stuff here, so I'm still going to have to look out. Like all that down there, there's no way you could traipse through that, you'd sink. This is where it got dodgy. And here, look, this section here is what made me almost contemplate turning back. And there's actually flowing water here. If it wasn't for the sound of the water flowing through there, you wouldn't be able to see it. You could easily just put your leg in there. Once we get on the higher ground, it's normally all drained from those parts, when it's not raining at least. So we made it to the taller tree line, and that goes back to the track. The forest seems much more peaceful, less threatening than when I was here last night. Here we go. That's the track. Oh, there we go. Well, it's much more exposed out here. You can hear the wind in the trees now when you get to the track, whistling through here. There. Made it. Yeah, there's no way you'd be able to see the bothy from here. And even spotting this trail from the main track last night was very difficult. It looks quite open, you know, going in between the taller trees and the younger trees now. But last night, it just looked like it was swallowed up in darkness. So yeah, very, very lucky that I came across this. This was the dark part of the forest that I was walking through last night. It doesn't look anywhere near as scary now, but it's still not exactly bright. Even in the daytime, it's pretty dark in there. The bird song's making it sound a lot happier though. Anyway, there's a lovely tea room in Foulstone Village with a free car park, which is where I left the car last night. So they should be open by the time I get back. I think they open at 10 o'clock. And by the looks of it on their website, they do fried breakfasts. So I think I'm pretty much going to dump all my stuff in the boot and walk straight in there and order a breakfast before I do anything else. So I hope you enjoyed my night at Flittingford Bothy. I certainly did. Bit of a hairy start, but once I was in there, absolutely lovely. And I would definitely recommend that one. And another great night's sleep in a Bothy. All good. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, then please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then you can also become a member now. By going to my homepage, you'll see the join button next to the subscribe button. Just tap that and it'll give you all the details, and I would really appreciate that. So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.